Hello there again, everyone. This is Rakus96 here with a Boomco review. Yes, I did say a Boomco review. I might butcher this. This is the Halo weapon blaster. It is called the unsc M6 blaster. This is the Boomco has done the covalent needler as well as some of the alien blasters from Halo. So this is their version of, well, the human gun, as I call it. Probably the terrible way to say that. Now, as far as this review, this specific review, because this is based off of a actual video game, we'll entitle my standard review as well as prop capabilities. Now, as we see, this is not actually the proper colors of the actual of the gun from Halo, and that is because, well, if they were to actually do a normal paint job on this to represent the game, this would be considered a actual look-alike firearm, which would not be good in today's world. So they did it a nice red, which kind of goes along with pretty much everything else Boomco, as well as the darts that come with it are black with red tips, so pretty much a standard Boomco dart. Boomco darts are not compatible with Nerf darts, so just a heads up there. So the blaster itself is a single barrel Springer. To prime the blaster, we pull back, and how we know it's primed is you get a reassuring snap forward, and the priming mechanism back here is now exposed. Now you cannot pull this trigger unless you have a Boomco dart loaded. And there we go. So we will do my standard review, really starting from the back. I just showed you the whole priming mech in the back. Moving on, the actual grip of this thing is actually very, very comfortable. And it's surprisingly, with this whole setup up here, the guard up in the front, it is actually very comfortable, and I have no complaints about the whole entire thing, considering how small it actually is. Now you're seeing the Boomco darts everywhere. That is because this thing has a lot of dart storage. So down here on the bottom, these two holes here are actually dart storage. Push the dart in, you get a reassuring click, knowing that these darts are clipped in and it does not actually affect the dart, it does not dent it, it does not break it. Just a nice reassuring clip on both of them, and they are not coming out of there. So really moving up, the trigger is a very nice trigger pull. You can see I can freely pull the trigger when there is a dart in there. I remove the dart and I can no longer pull that trigger. Why that is? Because there are mechanical locks inside of here, and I have not been able to get this thing open. You take all the screws out, there's a hidden screw, you knock this pin out, there's a pin up here in the front, and I just cannot seem to break it loose without possibly damaging the actual blaster itself, and I am not willing to do that. But really moving on, like I said, the trigger pull is actually surprisingly not bad at all, especially for what it is. Not a disappointment, and not a, oh my god, it shoots so much harder and so much faster than I thought it would. So much harder and so much further than I thought it would. Pretty much right on par with every other Boomco blaster out there right now as far as distance. So moving on, up in the front here there is more dart storage. Now this type of dart storage, you just take your Boomco dart, you can either press it in and push it back, or you can just do the long and reassuring push in, and then it clearly, same thing, they do not come out of there. It's a very nice fit, and that's because Boomco darts are actually plastic and rubber instead of foam. So you can just push them in, you can push them all the way back, whatever you want to do, however you want to secure them, as well as you can always have one loaded. So, as I said, that is pretty much everything for the review. We'll go to pros and cons. I don't really see an issue with this blaster ever getting an issue. I guess maybe the Boomco darts, maybe that could be a problem. Especially if you're in a actual Nerf war and you pull out a Boomco sidearm or backup pistol, you blow through all your Boomco ammo. If no one's shooting Boomco darts back at you, your blaster or sidearm is no longer a good blaster to keep around. If you can't scavenge darts up to keep reloading, then it's just not a very good sidearm, depending on if your friends or your group or whoever you Nerf with is not also using Boomco. So that could be a disadvantage. So technically that would be a con, but as far as pro, you know what you're getting. I've shot, possibly 200 Boomco darts out of it, brand new, unpackaged. Never had a jam, but you can't really have one with a single barrel Springer like this. Like I said, the trigger pull is pretty good. The dart storage is excellent. You can store 4 extra darts as well as have one loaded. 5. You can also have, you know, your pockets just full of Boomco darts ready to go. So that makes this a very fun blaster. Nerf War practicality, as I said, unless you play with a bunch of guys that use Boomco darts, probably not Nerf War practical in outdoor. As far as indoor, I can shoot these just about anywhere. They have a red tip. I know where they're going to go. So that one's laying on the ground, plus I am watching it. So that might be the benefit there, is that I can actually see where these are going. But in the end, if you're trying to use this in any kind of Nerf War as a sidearm, I say why not? As long as you are able to scavenge up Boomco darts, there should never be an issue. Now moving on to the prop capabilities, if you don't mind that some of these mold lines on here are not exact to where they are in the actual game itself, you should not have a problem. But if you have a little OCD like I do, this blaster itself, as fun as it may be to play with and actually fire, as far as actually being prop capable, if you don't mind how some of these lines aren't exact, and you don't mind really the paint job, you can always throw a Halo paint job on it. But if you don't mind that some of these lines are not exact, I say go for it. If you're a big cosplayer and you like having your blasters or your props being spot-on replicas, I might not recommend this one because, like I said, the lines are not exact. They're not perfect, but they do a very good job at the interpretation. So that is my review of the Boomco Halo. I'm going to butcher it again unless I actually look at it. Where did I put that? The Boomco unsc M6, or as I'm going to call it, the you know, the actual Halo gun in my book. I don't really like the alien guns, so this is what I consider a Halo human weapon, I should say. And then of course you have all your insignia. There's actually one under the priming handle over here and here. So this is the full review. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. There'll be a lot of cool stuff coming out soon. Hopefully sooner than later. I hope to get all the videos done. And of course, that will be it for this review. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.